Okay, you guys, we're back with another installment of the Beginner's Heart RC How To Beginner Series. So, you see we have some stuff here on the table. Now today we're going to talk about lipo versus nickel meth. So we got two nickel meth, two lipos on here. Both the nickel meth are different voltage and different voltage for the lipo. Now nickel meth berries, you pick them up. Sorry, this 5,000 milliamp berry is heavier than this 5,700 milliamp berry. Okay. It's way heavier. Like, oh, another thing, you probably don't want to drop lipos too much. Now these both can overheat. They both can explode if you abuse them too much. Nickel meth, when you charge nickel meth there, if you notice when you're done charging a nickel meth, you might want to wait 5 minutes. Let it cool down a little bit. Then you take it outside and you run it. Lipo, when you charge a lipo don't get hot. When you run the lipo, it gets hot. I forgot to mention, these get hot when you run them as well. So these get hot when you charge them and when you run them down. These guys, you run these guys all the way down when you're using them. In fact, it's better to, if you're not going to be doing anything with them for the rest of the day, it's better to leave them with as little power in their cells as possible. Now these guys, you do not want to run them all the way down, which is why you're going to need one of these stopwatch. So that's going to be something that's going to be kind of necessary in maintaining the berry. That put it right there. So you're going to need one of those. And another difference is you could get these things, these nickel meths, completely wet. Some cases I heard you could even dump them in water. Not like I recommend you dumping any of your electronics in water whatsoever. But yes, these are a little bit more water friendly than these guys. Except for if it's like salt water or seawater. The same with the brush motors. This guy, you cannot do that. Salt water, any water, doesn't matter. You don't drop your lipos in water. Max amps, I hear you actually can drop those in water. So you might want to check their website, check their warranty information, and always check warranty information when you're buying these guys, because a lot of berries have been really, a lot of companies period have been kind of tightening up their warranty policies, making it harder for people to return it if they do let you return it. So that's another thing you gotta worry about. These guys, you're going to need more. These guys are part in the maintenance. This is a lipo low voltage alarm. So let's take a look at how you use it. You basically stick it. Wrong way. Then these two lights come on. Each light represents a cell. This is a 2-cell. And yes, this also works with a 1-cell too, I'm going to assume. But if you have a ESC on 1-cell berry, it's going to just shut off when it gets too low because it's only 1 cell and you only got to worry about that 1 cell. This, you're going to need this with a lipo, which, like I said previously before in my video, it will bring the cost up of the berry. This brings the cost of lipo up. Okay. So I'm just going to actually just leave that on there. So you don't need stuff like that with these guys. You just, like I said, you run them down to the ground. You do not run these down to the ground. You run them to 3.20 volts and hopefully you do have one of these. You don't need this when it's on the vehicle. You need this when it's on the vehicle. So that you will need. And you can get these where they go all the way up to, I don't know, 8 cells. So you can find them that go up that high. And another thing you'll need is an ESC with a lipo cutoff. So what it does now, one thing I don't like about the ESCs with the lipo cutoff, they'll cut off when the whole they measure the voltage right here. But it's always best to have something that measures the voltage right here at the balance ports, because it tells you each individual battery. For instance, one cell might go lower than another cell way faster. I had this happen plenty of times where a cell just dropped. Like the other cell's nowhere near 3.20 volts, but the other cell is. I don't know why that happens. It happens with all of my lipos, my VIMs, my Onyx berries, my Duratrex. It happens with my Gen Z's. It just happens. Don't know why. Another advantage that lipos have, they're lighter. And they could be made smaller. This is a 700 milliamp battery. It's 3 cells in this little box. 3 different 1-cell batteries. Now, let me close this box back up and do a quick size comparison with this battery. See how much bigger that is? Way, that 7 cells is way bigger. And not to mention, this is 7 cells. 3 of these cells give you way more electricity than that 7 cell does. So that's another thing to think about. If you got a small helicopter, more than likely you're going to have a lipo on board. Like you get one of the little Sigma helicopters, one of the little cheap helicopters, even any of them little helicopters that you've been seeing popping up around the market. You could even find them at Walgreens, Rite Aid, Target, you name it. You could find those little cheap helicopters there, and they had one of these little 1-cell batteries in the side. So now we're at the part where we're thinking, which one should you get? If you have a brush system, get the nickel meth. You know, lipos will help our brush system, but like I said, you're going to need, it takes way more patience, because balancing these guys take a long time, and you will have to balance these things at least every 5 runs. These guys don't require balancing. Every once in a while, you will have, if you don't use it for a long period of time, you will have to do something called refreshing the battery, which you got to charge the battery, drain it, charge it, drain it, charge it, drain it until it gets back to its until it gets its juice back. Its juices back and everything. So that's the only maintenance you need with nickel meth, is just to keep using it. These guys, you gotta keep doing. With these guys, you do have to break these guys in. So you do have to run them. You can't constantly keep running them too hard. So you gotta be careful of what you want to check your ESC specs and what it says for its recommendations on battery usage. You know, not just the voltage, but also you got this thing called your continuous verse, your C rating. So that's another thing you want to look into. But that has been, we are approaching the 10-minute mark for this video, and my battery is blinking on my camera. So this is been lipos versus nickel meth. If you're a newbie, stick with the nickel meth. If you're a little bit more experienced and you want to get that high gas powered speed out of your brushless system, like with these batteries on here, you could easily outrun any gas powered RC, any nitro powered RC with the aid of a lipo battery on a brushless system. If you care about speed, this is your thing. You care about performance, this is your thing. You care about making your vehicle light while keeping that power, this is your thing. So those are the advantages. Those are some of the differences and advantages and disadvantages of lipos and nickel meths. So right about now, I'm at the point where I am a lipo fan. I've been using them. Only battery I still use of the nickel meth is this guy. I use this guy every once in a while because I use it on my SCX10. My SCX10 still has a brush motor. If I upgrade my SCX10 to a brushless motor, I would not use this anymore. And if I did, what I would do is I'll take 2 of these and I will combine the batteries. But I can also combine batteries on here. Think about it. If I have a whole bunch of 1-cell batteries this size, this is 700 milliamp, and I think this long one is what milliamp is this? This is 900 milliamps. Focus before the camera dies. 900 milliamps. So, in a qualler, stick a couple of these things. You can stick it anywhere on the vehicle. Anywhere. You could disguise it. You could put like a little fuel tank over it, disguise it as something else. This little guy could be put anywhere into the vehicle. I mean, this guy can't. You only got to put it in one spot because it's so big. But if you combine the batteries, stack their power on top of each other, you have a very good combination. That's one advantage that a lipo gives over a nickel meth. So, okay, we're well past 10 minutes. And that is everything I have to say on this subject. And any questions, leave it in the comment section. Click that like button. And don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you guys later.